iRacing. You wanted the best, you got them for abreast. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws.
Good afternoon, race fans, and we are back for another coverage of the All-Star Series with Millertime Motorsports in week number 6. And we are right here at Lanier Speedway in the Sunshine State of Georgia. It's nice and warm tonight. And man, this track built back in 1982 with the dirt on it has now been converted over to asphalt later on. But man, it's going to be exciting to see these guys wage war on a very short track, high bank track here at Lanier Speedway. I can't wait. I'm your host, Ryan Griffith. Tonight, I have got Jason Haynes in the booth with me as well. Jason, how are you doing on a beautiful night here at Lanier Speedway?
Awesome, warm spring Saturday night. Good night for some 305 All-Star racing.
These All-Stars has been awesome to watch. Even with the All-Star or the Outlaw Series in the 305s, they've been awesome to watch. But tonight, we look at the All-Stars, the group that is looking to try to buy their way in to the 305 Outlaw Series, where they have to impress the committee to get their name out there and get into the Outlaw Series in Season 7. Who are some names that we're looking at this season that have done some good this season?
Well, obviously, right off the bat, you have Byron Gay, who is leading the points, but doesn't even have a win this season. It just goes to show that consistency wins championships, especially in long-term, long seasons like this, like the All-Stars. So every point matters, and staying in every race matters, and not crashing out and keeping the car clean is all essential to coming ahead in the end and winning a championship. Obviously, Chris Miller is the same thing. He's second in points, no wins, but he's got consistent runs every single week, which puts him second in the points.
Absolutely, and then we look back at last week where Daniel Selleck got the win. He came in and just kind of dominated. I believe that was 2 in a row for Daniel Selleck. Fortunately, we do not see Daniel Selleck in the pits tonight. We do have 12 cars that have signed in for the 305 All-Star Series, but no Daniel Selleck, so we'll see a different winner than we have seen the last 2 weeks in Millertime Motorsports. So looking at the names that we've got here, we've got Grant Clark that has signed into the pits. We got Chris Miller, Bryson Hall, Matt Grimm, Steve Miller. Steve Miller back in a sprint car tonight, the brother of Chris Miller, one of the founders of Millertime Motorsports, and we have not seen him around in some time, and now we see Steve Miller signing into the pits in that O2 machine. You also got Byron Gay here tonight. Cameron Leibel is here. Cameron Pritchard. Gordon Insinger here tonight as well. We got Josh Berkey, another Millertime Motorsports. Josh Berkey was one that won on opening night at Volusia Speedway. Could we see Josh Berkey put it in victory lane tonight? What do you think, Jason?
You know what? I'm actually looking at the Canadian Grant Clark. He has the highest finishes among those top 5 guys, and with the 2 people that have been winning all season kind of not showing up, I think that opens the door wide open for Clark to have a good run. Look out for the 6 car tonight.
We got to say, if you're over there on YouTube tonight and you're watching us tonight and you're enjoying what you're seeing so far, make sure that you hit that subscribe button. We greatly appreciate it. Get notified. Hit that bell. We will be live tomorrow, and that show is the premiere series. You do not want to miss it. Also, you can check us out on Facebook. We don't go live over there, but you can check us out there. We have a lot of good content over there on Facebook, so check us out there. Hit the like, hit the follow button, and also share some of our content over there on Facebook. We greatly appreciate it. Looking at the schedule, again, we're at Lanier Speedway tonight, but next week we hit one of my all-time favorite tracks, and I cannot wait to pack the bags and travel on out to Eldora Speedway. And that is always a good race in these 305s. We've seen multiple different winners at Eldora Speedway, so that will be one to watch. And then we head off into I-55 Speedway, the new track with iRacing, so that will be a good one. And then we go to the dirt track at Charlotte, and we close out the season on May 1st with the Outlaw Series at Williams Grove. And then it is for the third running of the Kings of Millertime, and that is going to be a great show to watch. We're going to step away for just a few minutes for a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll talk about qualifying here and who we think will be on top of the board tonight.
Each year, legends battle for greatness. All strive to be better than the ones before them. But only one will be victorious. The 61st NOS Energy Drink Knoxville Nationals, presented by Casey's. August 10th through August 13th, only at Knoxville Raceway. Get your tickets now at knoxvilleRaceway.com.
With Get Upside, you save up to 25 cents per gallon every time you buy gas, and up to 35% cash back at restaurants. Gas stations and restaurants compete with cashback offers. Earn cash back at all the big brands near you. Users have earned tens of millions of dollars. Best of all, you can cash out anytime to PayPal or a check or gift cards. Join millions of people earning cash back every day. Download the free Get Upside app now.
Welcome back to Lanier Speedway, and we are getting you set for qualifying here in just under 1 minute. And Jason, I gotta ask, we've seen multiple cars on top of the leaderboard in qualifying. Who do we think we could see on top of the leaderboard tonight?
Again, I'm looking at Grant Clark so far. He's fastest in hot laps, showing a lot of speed so far. Chris Miller running second in warm-ups as well. And then Matt Grimm and Steve Miller. I'm surprised to see Byron Gay out of there, but I'm sure he'll pull it together for qualifying coming up in a couple minutes.
Interested to see Steve Miller. And I said we haven't seen him in here. What a treat it is to see Steve Miller and his brother Chris Miller back in action together. Be interesting to see what Steve Miller's been able to do. I've seen him out there in recent events, and he has improved drastically since his absence of iRacing. So Steve Miller, keep an eye on him as well. He could easily crack the top 5. All right, qualifying is out there. We're getting you set for qualifying. Cars are rolling out on the speedway. This is a closed session, so we won't go by the drivers one at a time like we normally do with the Outlaw Series. So we'll see how these times come in and see just where these guys are going to start to stack up for the All-Star race tonight at Lanier Speedway. It is a 30-lap event tonight, and it should be a really good treat for the fans out there that is tuning in tonight. Jason, the first car out there was Bryson Hall, and he turns a 12.46. A 12.46 out there. Matt Grimm is out there on the speedway. Steve Miller, Chris Miller, Gordon Ensinger, and Josh Perkey all out on the track right now. As Matt Grimm now goes to the top of the board at a 12.44.
Quick time for Matt Grimm. Steve Miller coming in with a 12.589. Joshua Berkey with a 13.2 right off the bat. Chris Miller in there with a 12.56. Matt Grimm still holding quick time with a 12.444.
Cameron Pritchard's out there on the speedway now. We take a look there in that 83 machine. Currently 7th quick on the board after that first lap. Here on his second lap, he's looking for more out of turns number 3 and 4. And still Grimm on top of the board, and there you go. Cameron Pritchard to the top of the board. In that 83 machine, it shows him as the 57 machine all night long. We will call him by the 57 machine versus what his car says. Grant Clark now out onto the speedway. He was the quickest out in hot laps. Be interesting to see what Grant Clark is able to do here. At first lap is second quick right now. Second quick out there to 12.39. 1.239 for Grant Clark in that 06 machine.
Still waiting to see the likes of Byron Gay and Jeffrey O'Brien coming out on the speedway. They still have a couple minutes.
Got Byron Gay now rolling out there on that speedway to take his first lap. And that number 11, Luke's Bar and Grill, Bell IT Solutions. He is our camera operator on the 305 series for the Outlaws. And he is third quick right now with a 12.44, 1.244 for Byron Gay on that first lap. The second lap will be slower to 12.52, 1.252 for Byron Gay. And that 11 machine, we still have 3 cars yet to qualify. As we will wait, Cameron Liable, Joseph Ralph, and Jeffrey O'Brien is still left to qualify. Those are your last 3 to qualify. And then we'll be ready for heat racing action. Question is, I've seen this track play out in different ways, Jason, and it seems like it does go to the bottom early on, of course, and then it goes up to the top, and then there is a bottom down there that reforms. Who do you think is going to be the takers to try to get down there on the bottom and get that to work when this track really starts to slick off?
You know, I actually just went into a midget lobby with Byron Gay, and he was doing just that. It waited till halfway through the main event, and then that bottom formed up, and he kind of set sail and took off with the win in the midgets. So I'm kind of seeing the same kind of thing happening in the wing sprint cars today.
Yeah, with these 305s, they're lacking in power, and it seems like as that slick line starts to form up the track, it's a longer way around, and sometimes it's best to take the shorter way around, even though it's slick down there. If you can get off the gas and ease through that turn, someone could find really good speed down there in this feature race, and it'll be interesting to see who those takers are, who the guys are comfortable about going down there to the bottom of the raceway. We still have 2 cars that was left out there to qualify. Looks like they are going to tag to the end of the field. Cameron Pritchard is your top qualifier for tonight, as we are going to kick it over to your first heat race of the night. That's what your lineup looks like. Starting on the pole from Pennsylvania, number 76. That's going to be Bryson Hall. And the outside of him from Millertime Motorsports, number 11. That is Byron Gay.
Starting third in the 83 car, Cameron Pritchard. And starting fourth will be Jeffrey O'Brien in the 13 car.
Starting in that third row in the number 5 position from Millertime Motorsports boy, your league owner, number 69, that's Chris Miller. Starting sixth from Pennsylvania in the 336, it's going to be Gordon Ensinger.
And then rounding out the field will be the 35 of Joseph Ralph.
10 laps is going to be the distance here in your first heat race of the night. At front row, Byron Gay up there. And did you just tell me that Byron Gay won the midget?
Yes, he did win the Millertime midgets at Lanier. And like I said, he did work that bottom. He showed a lot more speed than I was. I could hold my line with him, but I just couldn't catch him at all. He was working that bottom very, very well by the end of the main event.
Byron Gay going to be one to watch here in this heat race number 1. 10 laps will be the distance. iRacing pace truck lights are out, and we have got the signal to go green flag racing here out of 4. Holm Gay on the throttle. We're green flag here in heat race number 1.
Looks like he's going to lead lap 1, working the bottom. Gay is going to fall behind him, and Pritchard, they all follow suit, working the bottom. Track extremely narrow and fast right now. Everyone kind of just following each other.
Yeah, bottom side of the raceway, that's what we kind of talked about. That's what the line was going to be early in these heat races. As the track is really tacky right now, it's going to be really hard to find your way around somebody. You're going to have to get some big momentum run somehow to get around somebody, or it could be a mistake down there on the bottom side as the 76 starts to wash up there and opens up the door for Byron Gay, and he's not able to capitalize on that yet.
Yes, you notice the front car, Bryson Howley, pushes up a little bit, and Byron inches closer and closer every time he go into a turn, especially coming out of 4.
Look on the wing of Byron Gay right there, running in second with 5 laps to go. He's going to try to find his way around that 76 machine. He goes just above the slick there on entrance, gets big momentum there on the exit of 4, but not able to capitalize underneath the 76 machine. Now he's going to look there. Not going to be able to get it this time by as they come to the stripe. We'll have 3 laps to go.
He is taking a peek to that lower line. He is going to take a little push for it. Side by side, coming out of turn 2. Dives it into 3. Outside momentum takes it.
The outside momentum of the 76 machine. It does look like Byron Gay was the quickest out there on the speedway that lap when he was pressuring the 76. Now Byron Gay, and little contact there on the front stretch with the 76 machine on the front stretch wall. We're on the white flag. Final turn, final lap. Who's it going to be here at the line? Byron Gay, side by side. It looks like Hall will come out with the win there. Byron Gay comes in second. Cameron Pritchard in third. Cameron Pritchard being your top qualifier of the night. So he's going to come home third.
Heat race number 2.
Yes, yes. Heat race number 2 is on the grid. And here is what it's going to look like from the Plains number 83, Aaron Thurrott. I'm not real sure on the name. And then number 2 position from Ohio, number 91. That is Matt Grimm.
Starting in the second row on the inside, the Canuck, the 06 car of Grant Clark. Starting 4th on the outside from Millertime Motorsports, the 39 of Joshua Berkey.
Starting in that 3rd row from Ohio, the 02 machine returns to action tonight, Steve Miller. Starting in that 6th position from New England, number 70, Cameron Liable. We're about to go green flag racing here. Out of turns number 4, iRacing pace truck lights are out. We've got the command. We are going green this time by.
Another fairly stacked heat race.
Green flag is out on the speedway. Heat race number 2, 10 laps. 83 machine jumps out to the early lead there as he's the newcomer into the league. He applied this week, and here he is leading heat race number 2 early on.
Running 3rd is Grant Clark. 2nd is Matt Grimm. Everybody working the outside this time, or middle of the track anyways. Going to push that cushion up a little bit more. The more that happens, the more we'll have some passing and overtaking happening.
Josh Berkey back there in 4th, and Steve Miller back there in his Luke's Bar and Grill, running in that 5th position out there. Running the bottom and staying clean right now. Back up front, Aaron's got some pressure by the way of Grimm. Grimm looking to the inside here down the front stretch. Not going to do it yet, but it does look like Grimm has the more power in that 305 machine, as he was the fastest guy out on the speedway that last lap.
Grimm working the middle. Theriot working the outside. Again, and now Clark is kind of inching back into the picture here. Clark working the middle along with Grimm, trying to get a run on Theriot.
Grimm last time by was still faster than your race leader. The question is, how does Grimm be able to get around your leader, as the track is still really tacky as one car gets in the wall? That was Steve Miller back there, and Grant Clark smashes the wall just a little bit. Didn't seem to lose any kind of momentum. Here comes Grimm to the inside with 3 laps to go as they come to the stripe. 2 fingers are in the air. 2 laps remaining here in heat race number 2.
And here comes Clark to the inside of Grimm. 3-car battle for the lead.
Your white flag is out this time by 1 lap to go for Aaron. Aaron looking to hold on for his first heat race win on turns number 4. Theriot will get the win. Grimm in second, and Grant Clark gets that 3rd position. And Josh Berkey brings her home in that 4th position. We got you set for B main action here. This will make up the remaining positions in the A main. All these guys will make it. It's just on placement here for the A main. And starting on the pole, that 13 machine, that's Jeffrey O'Brien. Starting second from the Millertime Motorsports number 39, Joshua Berkey.
Starting in the second row, it's going to be the Miller brothers. Starting third, 59 of Chris Miller, and then on the outside, it'll be Steve Miller.
Starting in the 5th position from Pennsylvania in the 336, that's Gordon Ensinger, and starting in 6th from New England, number 70, it's Cameron Liable.
And then rounding out the field again is the 35 of Joseph Ralph.
And I did get the confirmation on how to say Aaron's name. It's Theriot. Theriot. Got it. We have lights out on the iRacing pace truck. We are set to go green flag in your B main action.
Starting to kind of wear out just right, so you have 2 grooves, almost 3 grooves to work with in both corners. Green flag is up. O'Brien is going to take a good start into turn 1, float it up to the cushion. Berkey is going to follow behind him on the outside. Steve Miller working the outside, trying to get by his brother.
Steve Miller, Chris Miller, side by side. Who's going to prevail? Is it going to be Steve Miller, that has not been racing much, as he's working the top side of the raceway right now, looking to the outside? They're side by side for that 3rd position. That is the battle right now, with the Jeffrey O'Brien leading this race and Joshua Berkey in that 2nd position. The race to watch is right there in that 3rd position, with the brothers battling it on. Steve Miller and Chris Miller side by side here at Linear Speedway early in on B main action.
For the lead, starting to heat up a little bit with Berkey pressing onto the back of Jeffrey O'Brien. Berkey working above the cushion a little bit, trying to get a big run going into turn 3. Jeffrey O'Brien will follow suit and block the line.
Jeffrey O'Brien in that 1st position, Berkey in the 2nd position, and Steve Miller has been able to clear his brother Chris Miller. So move Steve Miller up 1 position here in your B main, and you know, as I say that, you see that number 69 of Chris Miller starting to close the gap.
Went side by side into turn 3. Slider.
Big slider by that 39 machine of Joshua Berkey back to the inside. Jeffrey O'Brien's going to return the favor in 3 and 4 and take the lead back in that 999 machine as Berkey works really high in turns 1 and 2 to try to get the momentum. Here comes another slider by Josh Berkey. No, he'll keep it down side by side on the exit of 4.
O'Brien covering that cushion up so Berkey can't get a run on him anymore. Both working similar lines, pushing to the cushion. Another run from Berkey on turn 4. He's got a better turn 4 exit, but he loses a little bit on the entry.
Well, all that was going on. Chris Miller was able to get around Steve Miller, move Chris Miller back up into the 3rd position. Bragging rights there for the brothers as the white flag is out on the speedway, and O'Brien is leading this, and Berkey's in 2nd, trying to put a move on. Final turn of the final lap in B-main action. O'Brien's going to bring her home. Berkey in 2nd, and Chris Miller in 3rd. Steve Miller will be in the 4th position, and Gordon Insinger will be in that 5th position.
Producing some very, very good racing. Track again widening out a little bit more. Should produce a great feature event coming for the Outlaws, or the All-Stars tonight.
Absolutely. As we look at that track state and where it's at right now, you kind of look at it and you think, okay, for the Outlaw Series, they'll have their hot lap session out there. They'll have their qualifying session. We've only seen 12 cars here. In the Outlaw Series, you have 24. I imagine this track state at this point is probably somewhere in the neighborhood of qualifying, if not early in the Heat Racing 1 action. So we're not getting a real good sense of what tomorrow is going to bring for the Outlaw guys. But tonight, these All-Star boys, they're trying to bid their way into the Outlaw Series and prove that they are worthy enough to make the show, as only 24 drivers made the cut this season. I believe that is going to widen out a little bit for next season. I believe they're thinking about calling up 28 drivers into the Outlaw Series, so there's going to be some room for some of these guys. Any guy out here tonight or with the All-Stars that we've seen run could be a good bid for the Outlaw Series.
Right, I could pick a handful of drivers that we could probably pull up right now, and they would be at least somewhat competitive, or competing for top 5 in the Outlaw Series as well. So, I mean, look at Berkey, Grant Clark, Byron Gay. There's a good handful of drivers that would be able to definitely run up there for sure.
So looking at tonight and what we've seen in the Heat Racing, what is some things that we may see from some of these drivers, and who is your early on pick to win this race tonight?
Well, I think we're going to see more of the same that we've seen in the B-Main, with, lots of hard sliders, especially as it gets closer to that lap 25, lap 30. You look at the front row, Bryson Howe, and, Byron Gay, they're all starting in the top 5 there. Grant Clark, Cameron Pritchard's got a good starting spot. He hasn't really had that all season. He has worked his way through the pack over the last couple weeks and got hard chargers, so look out for Cameron Pritchard. Like I said, there's probably a good handful of drivers that could take home the win tonight for sure.
All right, here's what your lineup looks like for your A-Main. From Pennsylvania, number 76, that's Bryson Hall. Starting 2nd for the Plains, from the 83, that's Aaron Thierrett.
Starting 3rd will be the 11 from Millertime Motorsports, Byron Gay. Starting 4th will be the 91 car of Matt Grimm.
Starting 5th from Pennsylvania, number 57, that's Cameron Pritchard. Starting 6th from Canada, number 00, or the 06, I should say, Grant Clark.
Starting 7th, we got Jeffrey O'Brien. And starting on the outside from Millertime Motorsports, we got the 39 of Joshua Berkey.
Starting 9th from Millertime Motorsports, number 69, that's Chris Miller. Starting 10th from Ohio, number 02, that's Steve Miller.
Starting 11th, we got the 336 of Gordon Ensinger, and starting 12th, the 70 of Cameron Label.
We are ready to go. Green flag racing here out of turns 4. iRacing pace truck lights are out. We're on the command here on the front row, and we are about to drop the hammer in the All-Star Series. Week number 6 green flag is waving for week number 6 of the All-Star Series of Millertime Motorsports.
Aaron Theriot is pushing right down to the bottom. He's going to push a slider for the lead, and he's going to lead lap 1. Howe fighting back on the outside now. 3 wide behind him for second. Gay, Howe, Pritchard, Grimm, all in the picture. You can cover the top 5 with a blanket right now.
Some great racing there. 3 wide there for that second position. Contact with Grimm. They keep it together somehow. The battle is still up front with Byron Gay trying to get around Theriot. Running the outside in the 83 machine, the 11 machine of Byron Gay. We talked about it. When's that bottom going to come in, and who is going to stay down there? And right now, Byron Gay has that position on the 83 machine as they come down the backstretch. Bryson Hall is still looking for a capitalization here to take that position away from both of them as they continue to run side by side up front.
All the leaders are battling. Look at Cameron Pritchard in 4th. He's creeping up into the picture to move it a 4-car battle for the lead once again. Working the outside. Ha runs it down into the middle there, just trying to protect his run, and Clark is coming into the picture as well.
Byron Gay putting big sliders on your race leader. Coming into turn 1, man, that was some close racing. Just barely squeaked that engine right by the 83 machine. Here comes the 11 machine. Big run on the top side, going back to the bottom side as they'll go side by side into turns number 1 and 2. The 83 machine will prevail out of that turn. And like we said, we got Hall and Pritchard right there in striking distance. Pritchard on the outside now drifts to the bottom side underneath Byron Gay for that second position.
Pritchard looking to run through the field, make a charge for first. Works the bottom, slides up next to Byron Gay, but can't make the pass. Gay works all the way up to the top of the cushion, trying to get a big run. A little bit of wheel contact coming into 3. Again, slider from Pritchard. Gay crosses over. They both slide up to the top. Meanwhile, Theriot just kind of checking out here.
Got cars wrecking back here in the back. You seen it right there. We got back on it in time. Matt Grimm involved. Grant Clark involved. Grimm with no front wing. He will have to go for repair for this one. As that was, you also see the 06 also missing a front wing. That is Grant Clark, the Canadian. He will have to put it in pits and get a new wing on that 6 machine. Pritchard up there in that second position, and we look at the times the last time by. Your fastest guy out on the speedway is that second position guy of Pritchard. He's the fastest guy out there. Is he able to get around your race leader? As that battle up front was really hot and contested with Byron Gay, and then Byron Gay started to fade a little bit. That bottom may have been going away, but I imagine that bottom will come back in.
Yes, it is working out to kind of exactly how we said. Now we're going to have the outside kind of prevail for probably 5-10 laps, and then it'll go back down to the bottom. So hopefully they can time it back right and make another charge to the front.
Lights are out. We're going green flag here. Theriot is on the throttle. Green flag is out on the speedway. Both 83s on that front row, you'll see there. So green flag is back out on the speedway as we got 18 laps to go. We've had 1 caution tonight and some good battling up front. As your top 2 right there run nose to tail. You got Hall on the outside of Byron Gay. Byron Gay trying to work the bottom again to see if that line is working. Last time by, your race leader was the fastest guy out on the speedway. And this time by, your fastest guy out there on the speedway was Byron Gay. So we may be starting to see that bottom start to come in. Will he stay down there long enough to make it work? Here comes a big run by Aaron as Pritchard was able to take the lead in turns 4. They're going to come off the turn side by side down the backstretch.
Takes the lead and floats it right up to the cushion, and Byron Gay is going to follow. He's going to try and get by Ferret, and looks like he is going to get by on the outside. Looks like Byron Gay making that charge back up to the front. Floats it down to the bottom now.
Sometimes,
and gets a good run.
Sometimes that works as well. Working the top in 1 and 2, bottom in 3 and 4. And that's what Byron Gay is cooking up right now to try to close the gap on that 83 machine. Last time by, fastest guy on the speedway. Byron Gay is on the move back there. If he can make it stick lap after lap, he could be there with that 12 laps remaining. As Pritchard still ripping down the top of the cushion. Last time by, Pritchard was now faster, but not by much over Byron Gay.
Pushing really hard to get that lead. Meanwhile, Josh Berkey moving up into the podium's position right behind Byron Gay. Good showing from Josh Berkey tonight.
Berkey's up 5 positions in this race, and he is coming alive. And we look now last time by, and Berkey is faster than Byron Gay. Can Berkey take away a second position? We still got 9 laps left in this Week 6 race here at Lanier Speedway.
Where did he come from? Out of nowhere. Gay still holding him off, and meanwhile Pritchard is just kind of taking off, really working the boards. Tire up right against the wall on turn 2, and same thing in turn 3.
Seems like all the guys are wanting to go up there. You're looking at the times that he's turning. Cameron Pritchard on the top side of the racetrack turning 13.29, a 13.29 working the top. Seems to be working for him, but you've got some company back there for that second and third position by Joshua Berkey, putting a lot of pressure on his teammate right to the back bumper. Here comes a slider by that 39 machine. Big move for Josh Berkey. Move Berkey up into the second. Crossover move by Byron Gay.
Pulling back with a slider into turn 1, and Berkey's going to cross over for another slider into turn 3. Floats it to the cushion. Byron Gay comes back down for another slider into turn 1.
Here comes Byron Gay, another hard slider right in there with the 39 and 39, and Berkey teammates get into it. Caution flag waves out of the speedway as these two guys tangle. I imagine the team owner cannot be happy with that. They both had a podium position, and now they were upside down.
Car is going to the trailer with 10 laps to go in the main event. Or sorry, 3 laps to go in the main event. That's a tough break for Millertime Motorsports right there.
Very much so. We'll have to get a word, if we could, by the owner of this team and see if there's going to be some fist fights being thrown down there in that pit. Oh, man. That was exciting stuff there for the battles for that second and third position. As we're going to have a restart here, and it's going to tighten up the field. You got Pritchard now as your race lead and has been running away with it. But now you look at Jeffrey O'Brien, now up 5 positions in this race. He sits in that second position.
Again, where did he come from? Another guy that kind of started in the back and really didn't move. Now he's up in the second place.
Things have changed very, very quickly. Ferret, that started on the pole there, he is, or I should say in that front row, he is down in this race. He's down inside that top 5. Green flag waves out in the speedway as they cross the stripe. 3 laps remaining for Pritchard up on the top side of the wall.
And remember, we have a points race for season championship on the line here, and Chris Miller's running 5th. He's going to gain a wad of points going into the next week.
Chris Miller running the top side of the racetrack now on the outside of Ferret. He moved him one up into that 4th position. He's up 5 positions in this race. Big movers in this. O'Brien and Chris Miller up 5 positions in this race. White flag is out for Pritchard. Final turn, final lap of this race. As Pritchard's going to get the win, O'Brien will come in second, and Hall will bring it home third with Chris Miller in that 4th position and Ferret in that number 5 position.
Great race from the 305 All-Stars today. What a What a sign of things to come tomorrow for the Outlaw Show.
Absolutely. As you'll take a look here, this is how they finished up. Winning tonight, Cameron Pritchard, he gets it done and puts that 57 machine in victory lane. You got Grant Clark there. I'm sorry, I got to kick it over to the right thing if we're going to talk about who won and who didn't win here. There we go. We was looking at qualifying, but still, Cameron Pritchard was your winner in that 57 machine. And that second position was Jeffrey O'Brien in that 13 machine. And rounding out the podium position, Bryson Hall in the 76 machine. Chris Miller, good outing for him, up 5 positions in this race, finished in that 4th position, that 69 machine. The newcomer into the All-Star season is Aaron Theriot, and he put that thing in the top 5. He has to be happy with that in the 83 machine. Coming back out of retirement is what I'm calling it. The 02 machine of Steve Miller, he comes home 6th in this race, and he was up 4 positions in this race. Matt Grimm comes home 7th in the 91 machine. In the 8th position, Gordon Insinger in the 336 machine. He comes up 2 positions to finish 8th. Grant Clark was 9th. Josh Berkey, 10th. Byron Gay, 11th. 12th was Cameron Reliable. 13th was Joshua Ralph. And Joseph Ralph, and I did just see in the pits, there was a fight down there. Josh Berkey and Byron Gay are duking it out down there in the pits. They're on top of each other, throwing fists at each other. And I think Byron Gay, Berkey just knocked out Byron Gay down there. Holy crap. Did you just see that Jason down there in pits?
Her words, I imagine there's going to be some hard win for next weekend.
Absolutely. Let's see if we get a word with Chris Miller. See if we can bring Chris Miller in here. Chris Miller, do you got a copy? See if Chris Miller is there. Chris, you got a copy?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, what a crazy race we've seen tonight. We got to bring you in here as the owner of Millertime Motorsports. We've seen some feud out there on the track, and then we just witnessed a fist fight down there in the pits. Man, what's going on down there?
I was just trying to knock my brother out, he hasn't been here for a while, so I guess it's deserving that he gets a punch to the face.
Oh, okay. I missed that part because I seen Byron Gay and Josh Berkey fighting, and then I guess you guys fist fight. Man, there's feud in the Millertime Motorsports.
Well, I don't want to speak on Josh and Byron's behalf, but at least that gave me a better finishing spot. So I don't know. Them guys are probably hashing it out there in their garage, and I know they were yelling at each other on the radio about whose fault it was, and then somebody was blaming Netcode. You know how it comes down to it, but it's probably Byron's fault if I had to guess.
Awesome. Well, take care of that mess that you've got there on your team, and we'll see you tomorrow in the pre-race show.
Yeah, we'll see you then.
All right, what a great show that we had tonight. Some fists were flying here at the short track. Jason, overall, what'd you think? And what do you think we'll see tomorrow when we head at Lanier Speedway for the Outlaw Series?
Like I said, if this is a sign of anything to come tomorrow, we have double the amount of cars and probably the best Outlaw drivers in all of iRacing. It's going to be a barn burner.
Absolutely. It's going to be a fun one for sure. That's about all we have got here at the short track at Lanier Speedway for tonight. But tomorrow night is when the lights will be out with these All-Stars. It's going to be one heck of a show tomorrow. You do not want to miss these guys. They absolutely put on a show week in and week out. You don't want to miss the Outlaw Series. They go live around 7:15 p.m. Eastern Time, but you also do not want to miss out on the pre-race show where we'll house out everything that happened last week and talk about what we'll see this week and who are we picking by Luke's Bar and Grill. You'll find all that out tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern Time on the pre-race show. From now, we'll say good night from Lanier Speedway.